this might have been the real places where it took place. It looks like they're making a movie here. Good afternoon. I'm here just under the skywalk in the direction of the Saladaeng BTS station in Thanon Saladaeng, the Saladaeng Road. It's a bit of a dreary day, but that fits perfectly by the video that I want to make today for you guys. So last weekend, me and Midella, we binge watched a new series on Netflix. Well, for us it's new, and it's called The Serpent. And this is a series about basically a serial killer that operated here in the Patpong area in the 1970s. So his name was Charles Sobhraj, and I thought it was a really interesting series. So we watched, I think, the first two episodes on Saturday, and then Sunday we watched the other 6. So while watching, I was just thinking about this whole story, and I wanted to do a little bit of a checkup to see what locations are still there and where the movie was shot. So one of the main locations from where Mr. Sobhraj, who was actually living here under the name of Ellen Gauthier, so one of the locations that he was staying was the Kanit House, and Kanit House was here located in Thanon Saladaeng. So as always, I'm showing you around in Bangkok, and now this time I'm showing you around with a little story. As you can see, Saladaeng is just a little side street from the main Lom station, or from the main Lom Road. And all these side streets in Bangkok here, they are nice and quiet. And here at the end of the street used to be the Kanit House, but it's not there anymore. So it's been it was torn down some years ago, and it's replaced with a new building called the Legend Saladaeng. Yeah, why did I enjoy this series so much? First of all, let's say the serial killer with his entourage was a French guy from Vietnamese origin that was living here in Bangkok and was preying on the backpacker tourists. And there was 2 Dutch backpackers that basically got lost, and they were missing, and they connected with the Dutch embassy. And there was one Dutchman working at the embassy. His name is Herman Knippenberg, and yeah, he took it upon him to try and find out what happened. And in the beginning it was a bit complicated. Nobody actually believed what he was saying. The ambassador told him to just leave it, but he just kept going on. And thanks to this hero, Mr. Sobhraj got caught, and yeah, luckily he's still in jail. He's in jail in Nepal now, but I don't want to say too much. I think everybody should watch The Serpent, where the whole story is clear. Yeah, so we're getting close now to the Legend Saladaeng. So yeah, this guy was living here with a group of people that were following him, including AJ, which was an Indian guy, which nobody knows what really happened with him in the end. And there was a French lady, Marie Leclerc. And yeah, a gruesome story. And it all happened in this little area here. So later I will show you also the Patpong area, where you have the nightclub bars, where a big part of the story also happened, and I will try and see if I can show you something about the Dutch embassy. So unfortunately, what I said, the Kanit House is not here anymore. The production needed another place where they could shoot the movie, and they did it. They found a house in Sukhumvit Soi 4. So I will also try if I can find that, but if I read it correctly, the location in Sukhumvit Soi 4 is also not there anymore. Yeah, the original production already aired at the BBC. It's a BBC production, and from the 1st of April it was available on Netflix. So that's how we are able to see it now here in Bangkok as well. So this is the Legend Saladaeng. It's now a kind of luxury apartment. So this is the original location where the Kanit House used to be. So this is where the backpackers got lured. Basically what this guy did, he tried to steal the money that the backpackers were using to get around. So like they had the traveler checks, and he got rid of the people. So he basically killed them and then forged their passports so that he could use the passwords to collect the money from the traveler checks, or he was selling them fake jewelry. But what I said, you have to go and check out the series. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, so this Dutch diplomat, Mr Herman Knippenberg, and his wife, they did all that they could do to catch Mr Sobhraj. Even this was at the height of the Vietnam War. So this area in the world had a lot of problems with refugees coming from Vietnam. So the police force was not really able to do too much. So luckily Mr. Knippenberg did all he could do and managed to come up with enough evidence and proof to make a case against Sobhraj. And in the end, I think they have proof for about 12 murder cases, but they suspect that he killed about 30 people. So that's a proper serial killer here in Bangkok. And the thing is, I never heard about this story, so it was a bit of a surprise. And I'm very happy that I could learn about it through this series. And I would definitely recommend anybody to go and have a look. So there's different parts of the movie that were filmed in Bangkok, but in March 2020 they had to stop the production because of COVID, and I think they couldn't film for around 6 months, and then in the end they finished the movie in England. So there is a part in the movie where Sobhraj, or Alain Gauthier, says goodbye to AJ. It's not clear what happened with AJ, but the spot where they filmed that, I visited it with Mirella, yeah, probably 7 or 8 years ago, and it's in a national park called Sam Roi Yot, and I made some videos there because of the birds, but I will edit it in here as well. And what I also noticed, there is a part where the embassy staff is having dinner, and this is filmed in the Eugenia Hotel in Sukhumvit Soi 31. I will go to the Patpong area and show you a little bit around where they were hanging out in the nightlife. So see you in Patpong. Yeah, so this can all be considered the Patpong area. And obviously you guys know that I always try and walk around and show you different areas in Bangkok. So I wanted to mix this story up with giving an update about the situation in Bangkok as well at the moment. So last weekend they found a cluster of COVID cases in the Thong Lo area, which means that the government decided to close down 3 districts in the city. Not really closed down, but they have more restrictions, which means that there is no alcohol being sold anymore. And the districts are the Bangkok district, which is across the river in Nonthaburi, and then Klong Tui and Watana. And Klong Tui and Watana basically means that everything in Sukhumvit up to Onut, so let's say from Chitlom to Onut, all the bars will be closed, no more alcohol. Restaurants have to close at 9 o'clock in the evening. So yeah, I'm sure my friend Pete, who has his bar in Soi 22, he's not really excited about this. And this should be until the 19th of April, which is after Songkran. So that means that Songkran has been basically cancelled as well. And of course it was already known that there will not be a big Songkran this year. Yeah, I know that yeah, I feel for Pete, because I know that every time when he has to shut down, his stock is getting old, and then at some point he can throw his beer, then he has to buy new again. So I don't know how this is gonna affect him, but I'm sure he's not happy with it. Yeah, I mean, everything looked to be getting much better. And there's plans for Phuket to open up in July. You know, people that can show that they have their COVID shots, that they're vaccinated, they are able to come without doing a quarantine, and that would be only in the Phuket province. So I don't know how what happened now last weekend is gonna affect that. But it's a wild roller coaster ride, let's say it like that. So I hope we can yeah, stop the whole thing. Yeah, this is the 4th time now, the 3rd or 4th time that the bars will close. But here in Patpong, this is a different district, so Patpong will still be open. So I guess tonight it's gonna be busy here. So this here is the Patpong area. Let's have a look. So as you can see, it's not very far walking from the Kanit House to here. And here you have all the famous bars. And I know that during the series they were not filming in here, but this might have been the real places where it took place. You see that it looks like they're making a movie here. Always interesting to get into a movie set. So let's get back to the story about Mr. Charles Sobhraj, aka Alain Gauthier. So here we are at the Patpong Museum, which unfortunately at the moment is closed. But if you're interested in the history of Patpong, I can recommend to come and have a look here. It's in here, 2 floors up. And I don't really know if they have anything about this story that is handled in the Serpent, but it almost has to, because this museum is all about the history of Patpong. So they have stories about David Bowie that was hanging out here. So very, very interesting. I will go there when it opens again. So here we get to Patpong 1, and this is where normally in the evening you have the market. I made a few videos here in the morning and there is still a market, but now there is not much going on here. But I think in the 1970s this probably looked exactly the same. So it wouldn't surprise me if Charles Sobhraj with his entourage was hanging out here, because it's around the corner from where they were living. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, feel free to subscribe, drop me a comment, and see you guys in my next video.